Now joined by TSN hockey insider Chris Johnston. CJ, Auston Matthews suddenly looks like Auston Matthews again. What's going on here?
Well, he got healthy. I think first and foremost, there's a number of factors that go into the kind of run that he's put together really since Christmas time, Mark, and some of it might have been just that break, a little time to rest his body. But, the fact that he is finally feeling at whatever, 100%, 98%, whatever it could be, I think has been the biggest factor in terms of, Auston Matthews taking the game over for the Leafs. And you see it in things like, his shot speeds. Some of his best and hardest shots of the year have come in this stretch. His speed bursts in terms of how fast he's skating. And then you just look at the goal column, almost a goal per game over the last 11 games. And that's been a huge part of the Leafs turnaround. And so, a healthy Auston Matthews is obviously the best Auston Matthews. And I do think as well, the team is doing a good job of getting him the puck. There was an adjustment period after moving on from Mitch Marner, a lot of different line mates for Matthews through this season. But I think with the current look that they're finding places for him to shoot on the ice, and obviously he's bearing on a lot of those chances.
Big challenge for Matthews tonight against Quinn Hughes. Only one assist in his last 4 games against Hughes. Hughes starting to get more and more comfortable in his new surroundings too.
He is. I mean, look, they're forcing it on him. He's playing almost 28 minutes a night in 17 games that he's played for the Wild, entering this one in Toronto. And so, he's obviously being leaned on pretty heavily. The Wild have some injuries, much like the Leafs. They're without Jonas Brodin right now. And so they're leaning a little harder on Hughes, and he's been kind of an instant fixer for them. He's been productive, a little better than a point a game, and obviously gets a lot of situational matchups because of those minutes that he's playing. And so yeah, he'll see a lot of Matthews. I know they'll be teammates shortly here at the Milan Cortina Olympics next month. But in the here and now, with the Wild being down some of their best defensive forwards, a guy like Joel Eriksson not eligible for this game as well. Hughes will be out there every time 34 is.
Leafs also dealing with some significant injuries right now, including to their leading scorer, William Nylander. We got an update from Craig Berube today. Not exactly encouraging, though, Chris.
Not at all. I mean, the fact that Craig Berube revealed it's a groin injury for Nylander, I know there'd been a lot of speculation about other parts of the lower leg that might have been bothering him. Not encouraging because there's not really a timeline associated with that. I mean, really what we're talking about here is when William Nylander feels well enough himself to get back on the ice to ramp up and play. And at this point in time, I'd say that's a mystery. It could be one day or it could be many days. And so that's not exactly, going to bring a lot of comfort to the Leafs. Probably not going to bring a lot of comfort to Team Sweden's management group, where that Swedish team for next month's Olympics has got a whack of top players currently out injured for their NHL teams. But in the here and now for Toronto, playing every other day, having 9 big games before this Olympic break, the fact is the Leafs really don't know how many of those games at all William Nylander will be available for. And the fact that, he had such a great start in Vegas at that 2 minutes of ice time with a goal and an assist, appeared to get injured celebrating the goal he scored. Not entirely encouraging, because really a groin injury, typically you're just looking at rest. Plain and simple. That's the way typically that these injuries get better with some treatment as well. But, in Nylander's case, the Leafs need him, and they're going to have him be without him for the foreseeable future.
Leafs lost both games against the Wild last season. They only scored 2 goals, both coming off the stick of William Nylander.